Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week's build here is my just completed 1957 Chevy Cameo pickup truck here. This is a 3100 series, which is a half-ton truck for the time, but somewhat dolled up truck and somewhat expensive. Doesn't really sound like it when you look and realize this was $2,273 for this pickup truck. But for what you get, it's I like them. I think they're really cool looking trucks. It's just very stylish and everything. And they were starting to get dressed up trucks at the time. You know, with Dodge having a swept side truck, and then Ford also had its style side truck, I believe is what it was called. You know, I'd have to really look up the style side Ford, but I know that the Dodge version pretty well. That's a pretty cool truck. And if there was a kit of it, I'd love to get my hands on one. But the Chevy Cameos, they're quite nice, and the big thing with them is it's got this really fancy bed with all of these. These are fiberglass bed sides that went onto the original normal box truck that would have the step side fenders, and all this extra chrome trim. As a matter of fact, when I bare metal foiled this thing, there's so much foil on the back here, but came out really nice. It's got a pretty flat tailgate there with the bow tie emblem on it. And then all of the wood siding and the chrome handles and everything. But I spent some time on this, and she came out great. It's got these really fancy taillights, the bumpers here, all of that stuff, and the two-tone paint. Now, the Cameo came out in 1955, but all of them were white with red trim on it. So the 55, you really didn't have any options. For 56, they started to add color options, and by 57, which this one is, there were 9 different two-tone color combinations. And while I was looking at pictures of all of them, I just really liked turquoise and white the best. But there was a striking number of them. Yellow with black trim, to me, was really, really cool too. And I believe in 58, they flipped it to where you can get black with yellow trim. But I think, I think I'd rather do the yellow with the black trim on the 58 because I do plan to build that. And 56, they had some colors too, but for that one I really like red with the white trim. But there's a lot of nice trim and chrome on this thing, and just really dolled up for the truck. So, I'm not really sure what a regular base price truck was compared to the Cameo. With the factory price of $2,200, I wonder what options could bring that up even more, because the Cameo was pretty well loaded, came with the V8 engine in it and everything, which the kit has all of that, with the oil bath air cleaner and everything there, and the ram horn manifolds. Wasn't a powerhouse, but still a good reliable truck, half-ton truck with the same payload, but a lot more of the looks. And some pretty cool stuff, and then fairly dressed up interior. The two-tone interior there, and this seat it's hard to get my hand in there. Get in there with the razor. And the seat does flip forward to expose the gas tank back there, and you can push it back too. So that does move, but with the, once it's in there, you really can't see any of that. But still really cool. And then hanging all the chrome on the body, all these pieces of chrome, the mirrors and all that stuff, quite a bit. Now, when it comes to building this thing, well, before we get into that, I'll take this outside and we'll see what she looks like in the sun, and see if she really pops. Well, here we are out in the sun with this one. And man, I really like this turquoise color. And all that extra chrome on the bed there. Man, Cameos were pretty trucks. I may have to get this turquoise color and do it again. Great 50s color. And those white walls. Definitely a truck I would love to own. There's not a whole lot of room for the family though. Kind of reminds me of a joke I remember hearing. Why do cowboy hats curl up on each side? That way you can get 3 people in a pickup truck. But definitely applies to this one. But yeah, that's looking really good in the sun. And that bed, that wood bed in there, that looks good. Taillights. Oh yeah, really liking this one. All right, well, let's head back inside. All right, well, now that we're back inside here, and when it came to building this thing, I was a bit intimidated by this one. I've done a couple of trucks before with multi-piece things, but this bed, there are a lot of parts to this bed, and it's pretty intimidating gluing it all together and trying to, worry about everything lining up and is it all going to fit. But to my surprise, it fits pretty well, but there's just a lot of parts. And then, painting all the different pieces too, as an assembly, painting all the white in there in one shot, and then painting the tailgate and the whole outside, the blue and everything, and making sure, I got the white stripes here. So I was really intimidated by building this, and then all the chrome bits and pieces that go on it. Let's take the hood off. And then, with all the underside, you can detail it, but you can't. The exhaust is a certain way, and everything, it fits really well. Everything went together really well, but there's so much visible under there, so I made sure I blacked everything out. On the real one, you would see the wood on the underside, the wood bed. None of them had a steel floor. They were all wood bed floors. All of the Chevy trucks. I think that went away when 67 came around. Like all the 66 and older are wood floor beds, and 67 was the first year for an all steel. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't have my truck history, but I do enjoy reading them. But those wheels and tires just really came out on this one, really make it pop. But I mean, it is a 50s truck, and I just really like that front end. Although you got to hang these bumperettes or grill guards, a separate piece. You got to drill holes for those, and then getting all of the headlights and all the chrome trim to fit. Getting the mirrors on there, and even the hood. Detail painting that in there. But the chrome spears that are on this 57. So there's a lot of chrome on this one, especially when you compare it to the 55 kit. I think the 57, it's a little more intimidating with all that stuff, and then gluing the visor on, which came out really nice. I really like that visor on there. And then, when I talked about the windows, you can see there is a molded in line for the rubber. And so I used a Sharpie to detail that up. And then the visor's hiding, a little bit, but the glue fills in the gap a little bit. The window, it just does a really good job. So getting to hide it, and the same thing with the back window. That's just a black Sharpie. You can see a small gap there. But gluing the window in and all of that just really helps on that foil and everything. So she came out really, really nice. So I was surprised, even though these were probably one of the looser fitting windows compared to the other ones, still came out really nice. I'm really happy with the way it is on that. And putting the optional visor on there really hides any of the fitting issue anyway. But that visor just looks really cool, and in my opinion, really belongs on this truck. So really, really happy with the way this one came out. Even though, like I said, I was pretty intimidated by all the body pieces, the multi-piece bed and everything. And even, gluing this visor on, which is kind of a pain, trying to get that to stay down, let the glue set. And I was using the white glue. Takes longer to dry and hold it. If I mess up and have to pull it off, that was not a problem. But, the chassis and everything went together really nicely. The battery detailed pretty good. Even though it's there. Radiator hose, the generator there. It even has a steering gear and a steering column. So that's all in there too. So, for a AMT kit from the mid-90s, it's a really nice kit. And, this trim level, the 57 and everything. So I really enjoyed building this. I was kind of surprised. I was intimidated at first. It seemed like everything just really wanted to go together, and it really didn't fight me. So I was pretty happy with how it came out. And I hope you guys are enjoying it here, as it's quite the truck in my opinion. But anyway, I think I'll stop rambling on and get to moving on to my next project here. And but I'd really like to hear your opinion on it. Truck like this, not really a muscle truck, but just a really nice classic cruiser, and just something to be fun to drive and have, even though it doesn't hold too many people. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.